Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I would like you to put almost this entire video in the All the World's a Stage file, because I'm about to show you some things that are going to blow many of your minds, people that have not been around, but I think also people that have been around. There's a lot of things in this video, so we're going to go fast. But the first thing I want to show you is I like this. Crypto Bull, next XRP target, $14.92. Now he's pointing to this guy on TradingView, and this is interesting. The guy's saying $14 plus, and then he's also pointing to $50 plus later on. Listen to this. Before reading, get rid of your moon boy mentality. No emotions for dips, corrections. Short-term bearish, although we can just skyrocket from here. We need to have buy opportunities just in case we head down short term. Remember, the higher time frame, the bigger the move. I'm one of the few bears that was calling for XRP to correct to 37 to 64 cents when XRP was $1.29. Had so much hate by the moon boys. I'm now calling bullish reversal soon, right after a nice wick down. Buy the dips. $14 is imminent, is what this guy says. Maybe he knows nothing. Maybe he's a great chart guy. We shall find out. Okay, let me adjust these blinds because the light's coming in on me. Look at this. Forbes Crypto Zcash founder Zuko Wilcox wants the blockchain to switch from energy-intensive proof of work setup to eco-friendly proof of stake. If successful, pressure could grow for Bitcoin to do the same. Proof of work doesn't work, and I've told you for a year or plus. All these people have known it. This is a game we've been watching. Okay, John Deaton, great tweet. In January 2020, Tarbert, that's Heath Tarbert, stated Bitcoin and Ether were commodities and to stay tuned regarding XRP because the CFTC and SEC were working closely together. In October 2020, One River, where Jay Clayton ended up going, invests in $1 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum. 2 months later, Clayton's SEC files a lawsuit against XRP. All right, I forgot to show you this. I showed you the other day where James Philans had said that Brad Garlinghouse had filed a second motion to obtain international discovery, or this, I think this was the Binance thing. Then Jeremy Hogan had retweeted it, and he said Garlinghouse is getting documents from Binance related to his sales of XRP to it. This request goes to our third issue in the case, which is jurisdiction over sales. SEC cannot disgorge profits to foreign entities or individuals. These documents will fight damages. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Then I wanted to point this out. Zero Hedge had tweeted out, it's over, it's all over, the death of China's Bitcoin mining industry. Well, I think that there was a lot of attribution of this that China's trying to go green, but that has absolutely nothing to do with it, and I'll prove it. I said China didn't do this because they care about going green. This is China doubling down on coal despite global push to go green, July 31st, 2021. So they're not getting rid of the mining because they're worried about global warming. That's not why they're. So you have to ask yourself the question, well then why are they getting rid of it? Okay, then there's this. You could see some Bitcoin run or a crypto run soon, because Tether Whales moved $432 million in crypto. Analysts predict big run on the horizon. Now this, folks, is where I want you to think about all the world being a stage. From this point forward in this video, just sit back, relax, and watch all the things that I have to show you. Gary Gensler retweeted this, and he said that there's an updated time that he's going to be speaking. I'll now be speaking at 12:15 Eastern Time. Join me and Paul Vigna at the Aspen Security Forum. We'll be discussing cryptocurrencies and investor protection. All right? Well, Paul Vigna, as I pointed out in my last video, but I didn't show this to you, but I'll show it to you now. That's the same guy, Paul Vigna, who interviewed Chris Larson not too long ago, back September 2020, a couple of months before the lawsuit against Ripple was dropped. Now, by coincidence, same guy's going to be talking to both Brad Garlinghouse and Gary Gensler at the same forum where they're both attending. Here's the forum. If you want to watch this live, so 12:15, you'll have Gary Gensler on here. All you have to do is go to the Aspen Institute on YouTube, and it is live streaming right now. I have it muted, but right now they're running it. So at 12:15, this is the place to be. Everybody who's anybody in crypto that's halfway cool or not cool. There's a lot of us that aren't cool in this space. We're going to be right here watching this. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. I decided that what I would like to do is look at the Brad Garlinghouse section and see who's going to be talking with him, and then just pull a few little facts for you, just things that come to mind or things that I knew or things that I found when I decided to do this. But here we go. The first one we're going to talk about is this lady. Her name is, I know I'm butchering it, Sigal Mandelker, former Undersecretary of Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence. That would be under Steve Mnuchin. Okay? Look at her resume. As you go down, General Partner, Ribbit Capital, Advisor Chainalysis, Advisory Group, the Digital Dollar Project. Then she was in the Treasury Department under Steve Mnuchin. There's so basically from 2017 to 2019. All right, she was in the Department of Justice way back when. Let's see where she was during. Okay, so anyway, the bottom line is that she's pretty important figure. Well, I decided that I wanted to go look her name up on Google and Brad Garlinghouse's name at the same time just to see what would happen. Here's what happened. Monday, October 1st, what you're looking at is Steve Mnuchin's calendar from back when he was Treasury Secretary, and she was an undersecretary, is my understanding. Here she is. She's meeting on October 1st at 5 p.m. to 5:15 p.m. with Undersecretary, that's her, and Chief of Staff Eli Miller. So I just said, oh, well, that's interesting. Why did her name pop up with Brad Garlinghouse's name? Well, here's the reason. The very next day, as we go down, I think it's the very next day. No, maybe it's 2 days later. Here it is, 2 days later, 10:15 to 10:45, meeting with Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO. Now, this is something we've shown before. I was just trying to show you. So here, this woman who was literally working for the Treasury Secretary. So if she's working right under the Treasury Secretary, you got to believe she's aware that he's meeting with Brad Garlinghouse and who Brad Garlinghouse is and what Brad Garlinghouse does. That seems, now, earlier I showed you the John Deaton tweet. Look at this. Just a couple hours later, Mnuchin meets with Secretary Heath Tarbert. I'm sure that's a coincidence too, right? They probably didn't even bring up that he had met with Brad Garlinghouse. Well, look at this. So this is back to the lady that's going to be on the stage with Brad Garlinghouse today, this Sigal Mandelker or whatever. Man, I'm butchering that name, I know. Listen to what she says. Now, this, just so you know, this is October 1, 2018. Brad Garlinghouse meets with Mnuchin on October 3rd, 2018. And then she says this in 2019. Oh, they're not doing anything with cryptocurrencies. They're not barely aware of them, I guess. If I can get the thing to play. Hold on, I'm refreshing it. Let's get
in place that enable them to track money launderers and kick them out.
Undersecretary, I wonder if there are any plans for the U.S. Treasury or any other parts of the U.S. government to start using cryptocurrency in any way?
At the Treasury Department, we don't have those kinds of plans, but we do have a rigorous enforcement and regulatory regime in place, as I said, to make sure that the industry is compliant.
You know, picking up on what Andy just asked, though, I mean, we know that countries like Iran, Venezuela, and Russia are making plans or have tried to enter into the cryptocurrency space. That makes it harder for the officers in your department, because you're in charge of protecting U.S. citizens from terrorist activity and the financing of terrorist activity. How do you keep a crypto operator from going to one of those exchanges?
Well, the good news is that so far the likes of Venezuela haven't in fact been successful, nor...
Okay, she avoids the crypto thing altogether. But from that clip, what we're supposed to believe is that China, Russia, and Iran, they're all about cryptocurrencies. They're just plunging forward, just like now. We're supposed to believe that China has the digital yuan, and we're just all so far behind. Yeah, right. Bullcrap. I've called that bullcrap for over 2 or 3 years on this channel, and it's still bullcrap. The U.S. isn't behind on anything. If they were in it, the U.S. was in it probably 10 or 15 years earlier. Not behind on anything. Now that may be what they want to sell, but on this channel we try to sell the truth. Okay, and just as a side note, this is August 20th, 2018, and this would be Jay Clayton's calendar. Of course, we've shown this before, but again, there's new people to the party, and you new people to the party, you should know that this is not Ripple's first rodeo around all these government officials that are on that stage. So we've got, this wasn't just Brad Garlinghouse, it was David Schwartz. They were meeting with Jay Clayton with assistant to the president also, and it was August 20th, which is after the Hinman speech. So his speech was in June of 2018. They've declared Ethereum a security. These guys are meeting with Jay Clayton after that, okay? Now let's go back to this. Let's look at this guy, Stuart Levy. He's the CEO of the Diem Association. That's what was Libra, Facebook's digital currency. This is him. Look what his story is. He was with the Treasury. He was with the Department of Treasury in the same department that she was in, Department of Justice. He was with. He was with HSBC. Then goes to Diem, Council on Foreign Relations. I've told you before on this channel. This is one of 2 or 3 organizations that runs the world, period. But I don't usually talk about that. So I was looking around for Stuart Levy, and who pops up? Turns out that on the board, I didn't even know this, I don't think, on the board of the Libra Association, who was commenting when Stuart Levy came to the Libra Association, is Katie Haun. Do you remember who Katie Haun is? Because listen, this sure does go on In All the World's a Stage file. Katie Haun is a few things. The first thing that you need to know, especially during this Ripple SEC lawsuit, is that she was a U.S. attorney in 2015 when Ripple was fined by FinCEN, which is a department of the U.S. Treasury Department. They were fined by FinCEN, and in the document it called XRP a virtual currency, and she's the U.S. attorney that signed off on the deal. Okay, that's the first thing you need to know. Then you need to look at her background and realize that she is a general partner at Andreessen Horowitz, which is one of the first investors in Ripple. And then as you go down, you'll see she's a lecturer at Stanford University part-time as well with Susan Athey, who's on the board of directors at Ripple. Then you'll go down and see she's a member of the board of directors at Coinbase. Well, Mark Andreessen, who is one of the first investors through his firm Andreessen Horowitz in Ripple, is also on that board of directors. And guess what else? When you're looking at her being a general partner at Andreessen Horowitz, do you know who else is an advisory partner at Andreessen Horowitz? That would be Bill Hinman, who gave the Ethereum is not a security speech in June of 2018. Let me remind you, one of my sponsors linked to in the description of this video and all my videos, you can go and if you're an accredited investor, you can buy private equity. They loaded up Uphold private equity on this platform yesterday, and it sold out very quickly like it always does. Same thing happens with Ripple. This is pretty standard. What I do is I keep my eye on these to try to get a shot. You can buy these if you're accredited for as little as $10,000. Used to, my understanding is it took $250,000 to even get in the private equity game. They have brought this to a point where you can now do it for as little as $10,000 for a purchase. Now that's exciting. That's why I'm a customer. I buy the private equity on this platform, and they're one of my sponsors and a great sponsor. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that sometimes things sure do look like all the world's a stage. Thanks.